Hey everyone, it's Carissa Wiley at sprinkledwithglitter.com. Thanks for joining me today. Today I am sharing a simple yet stunning holiday easel card created with the brand new Season of Wonder release from Pinkfresh Studio. And when I tell you this release is fabulous, I am not joking. It is full of amazing products, and I'm going to be using this Seasonal Sprigs product suite here today, which includes a brand new washi tape. The washi tape makes creating cards so easy, but if you prefer, there is also a stamp set, coordinating die, and stencil set. Now, I thought the way to start off this video was to show you this complete release because it has so many amazing products in it. I'm not going to talk to you about each product, but I did want to flip this through and let you know that there's like 29 brand new products. These are holiday themed and they're absolutely stunning. There's a mixture of stamps and dies along with press plates and stencil sets, so you can mix and match these products to suit your needs. Now, to celebrate this brand new release, there is a blog hop happening today, and you can find more information over on my blog. I'll have a direct link to that post in the YouTube description below, but just know there's going to be tons of inspiration, prizes from Pinkfresh Studio, and a lot of fun to be had. So make sure that you hop on over to my blog and check that out if you want your chance to win prizes. I'll also be sharing more inspiration over on Instagram featuring this new Season of Wonder release on Monday. So be sure to keep your eye out there and follow me over on Instagram. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I'm using the brand new Seasonal Sprigs washi tape. I'm actually combining it with the stamp set today. But if you've never used the Pinkfresh Studio washi tape, you are in for a real treat today. Now, the washi comes on these rolls, and I like to take a craft knife and kind of slide it underneath the label of the washi tape so that I can save that and store it inside the roll so I always know what washi tape this is. Sometimes it can be a little tricky when it's on the roll to determine which washi tape you're looking at. So I like to save that label. I take off the plastic on the outside, and then I kind of curl that label and stick it on the inside of the roll. And that way, when it's in my drawer or on my shelf, I know exactly which washi tape I'm looking at. Now, when you first start your roll of washi tape, you may notice that it starts right in the middle of a panel. There's about 40 panels, 40 plus panels on each of these rolls, so you can get a ton of card projects out of them. And what I do with that partial panel is just lay it onto some white cardstock, press it down, and trim it off in the middle. So while I don't have that full wreath along the top of this panel, I still have plenty of extra little things that I can die cut and use on card projects. When I lay this down onto my cardstock, I like to start on one end and kind of get the end situated on the cardstock and then smooth it down with my hand and trim it off of the roll. So you can see I have a beautiful little set of sprigs there that I will use. That's a partial, but I do want to show you what this looks like for the full panel of washi. So it kind of starts up here with these two smaller sprigs at the top. It has the wreath and then all of the other sprigs that are below it. I like to place this onto cardstock that measures 4 1/4 by 11 inches. You can see I have a little excess at the bottom, but that's okay. I can trim that off and use it for sentiments. Now, this washi tape, because it does have a translucent effect, also looks really beautiful on vellum. You don't get quite of the intensity of color that you will when placing it onto white cardstock, but I think this is a really beautiful look as well and really stays true to the look of washi tape in general. Now, don't worry, this is pretty forgiving if you need to pull it up a little bit and kind of restart because you get a wrinkle, so don't worry about that. And you can see I have several panels here ready to go. I can grab the coordinating die set and line up the first die along the top of this washi tape panel, and I'm holding it in place with a piece of tape that actually overlaps the exposed cardstock. The washi tape is a really slick and waxy surface, so if I were to adhere my tape just to the washi tape itself, you will get some sliding of your die. And I really do like to tape the dies in place on top of the washi tape because they are so slick. So that's why when I am working with the coordinating die, I like to get it lined up and then add my tape, making sure that it's overlapping some of the exposed cardstock somewhere. It doesn't have to be a ton of tape, but doing this will help make sure that you get your die securely in place and that it will stay in place as you run it through your die cut machine. So you can see that this actually cuts out in 2 sections, and that's because if Pinkfresh were to make this all in one solid die, it would mean that it wouldn't fit on most standard platforms for die cutting machines. So they have split the die into 2 areas and also the stamp into 2 areas so that it's easier to work with. Back in the day, Pinkfresh Studio used to make these washi suites with all one stamp and all one die, and it was a little bit challenging to get it into your MISTI stamping tool or onto your die cutting platform. So they've really improved this process along with the adhesive that's used on the back of this washi to make it really easy to work with. Now, after I've die cut all of my panels, you can see I have all of these beautiful pieces that I can actually use on my card project, and the extras I like to keep on hand for when I need a quick holiday card or even a gift tag. These act kind of as like an ephemera that you can use and have on hand to attach to things quickly and make fast projects during the holiday season. And we all know how busy we are during the holiday season, so that can be a game changer. Now I have one of the stamps from the Seasonal Sprigs stamp set, and I'm inking it up in Pinkfresh Studio Calico White Pigment ink, and I'm stamping along the bottom of this wheat colored cardstock panel. I have prepped the surface using a powder tool because I do plan on doing some white heat embossing. Now I stamped that in one corner, and now I'm going to rotate the cardstock 180 degrees. I'm going to re-ink in this Pinkfresh Studio Calico White Pigment ink and stamp again. Now I want to fill this entire panel, and I'm just strategically placing this large one-piece stamp in order to fill in all of the areas. So once I get these 2 corners stamped, then I'm going to actually clean and reposition my stamp so that I can fill in some of the extra holes. I moved my panel over to where I could kind of stamp it into this upper right-hand corner. I'm inking up my stamp again with that Calico White Pigment ink and stamping onto the panel. Now I will say that my ink, this took me a little too long. So my ink in some areas dried quicker than I could add my embossing powder, but overall it turned out really beautiful. I should have probably stopped after I did the 2 corners and went ahead and heat embossed and then added these additional stampings in the other corners. But overall, I love the way this card turned out, and so I'm not worried about it at all. Once I have all of my stamping done, I'm going to take this over and add some superfine detail white embossing powder, and then I'm going to use my heat tool to melt that powder. It's really important that once the powder is melted, it looks smooth, shiny, and bright white, that you keep your heat tool moving because you don't want to overheat this. I'm going to trim down this panel using the double stitched rectangles from Pinkfresh Studio. This is just going to add a really beautiful border to the edge of my rectangle, and it also allows me to keep this outer frame and use it for another card project. I also have a strip of cranberry cardstock that I die cut using that same double stitched rectangle so that it will have the matching stitching along the top part of this red strip that will be down the front of my card project in the end. So I have several of the elements created for my card, and now I'm going to create my greeting. And for this, I'm using the Treasured Greetings press plate set. This is also available in a stamp set, so you could totally heat emboss this instead if you wanted to. I'm going to add some champagne foil and some cranberry cardstock, and then I'm going to cover this up using my thin shim and my spacer pad and run it through my Platinum 6 die cutting machine, and that transfers the beautiful hot foil onto this gorgeous red cardstock and gives me a beautiful sentiment for my card. Now I can use the coordinating die to die cut my sentiment. And from there, I decided that I wanted the center of my wreath to kind of be filled in. So I used a circle die to die cut some wheat cardstock, and I'll place that behind my wreath to kind of fill in that center area. Now I'm going to put this onto a wheat cardstock base, so that tone on tone was getting the edges a little lost on this additional panel. So in order to kind of give that a little contrast from the card base itself, I took the Calico White pigment ink directly to the edge of my cardstock and kind of created a little bit of a white border there just to kind of make it pop off of the cardstock. I added some foam adhesive to the back of my wreath, and I'm removing the backer, and now I am placing that circle that I die cut earlier to kind of just fill in the center portion of the wreath. Fun fact, I will be sharing a little shaker wreath project on Monday over on Instagram featuring this Seasonal Sprigs washi tape, so be sure to keep your eye out for that. I added my red strip with some tape runner adhesive, and then I added my wreath with some foam adhesive. I also have this little vellum banner. This comes from the Basic Banners die set from Pinkfresh Studio. It's one I use all the time. And behind my red sentiment there, I stacked a couple of additional layers of white die cuts to give it a little bit of dimension off the front of the card. I adhered that onto my card front, and then I just took a few of the little sprigs from the Seasonal Sprigs washi tape die cuts and tucked them under my sentiment. So now that my card front is created, it's time to make the card base, and we're going to make this an easel card. So I'm starting out with a piece of cardstock that measures 4 1/4 by 11 inches, and I'm scoring it at 5 1/2 inches. This creates a standard top folding A2 size card base. Now I'm going to place this back into my scoring board, and I'm going to score that front panel at 2 3/4 inches. That's actually exactly in half of that 5 1/2 inch measurement. And so I'm making a second crease line in this card. I'm going to fold that forward to create my easel function. This is a very easy kind of fun fold card. It's something that you could easily reproduce over and over again for the holidays, especially if you're using the help of that Seasonal Sprigs washi tape. And eventually we'll be able to rest this up and our card front will kind of pop up and stand up, and you can display this on someone's desk. Now, the important part is that we make sure we only put adhesive below the score line on the card front. So you can see I have a partial panel of foam adhesive that I'm placing on the back of my card front, and I'll use that to adhere it to the lowest panel of this card front, so below the score line. I'll remove the backer to the foam adhesive, hold this flat, and make sure I'm lining it up properly, and then press that down. Again, I just want to reiterate, there is no adhesive above the score line on this card so that that panel can pop up and someone can put it on display on their mantle or on their desk. Now, to add a little shine, these are my favorite embellishment for the holidays. I'm using the glitter drops in Ruby from Pinkfresh Studio, and I'm sprinkling them around the berries that are already on this beautiful washi tape with that gold embellishment on them as well. I think this all adds to that really shiny holiday feel, and I love these glitter drops in the ruby color for the holidays. I stamped this sentiment here. It says Season's Greetings. This is from the Seasonal Sprigs stamp set, and I am going to adhere it with liquid glue on the inside of my card. This is going to be a place for this card panel to rest against as it's sitting up on display. And I finished off the inside of the card with another one of these beautiful sprigs of holiday greenery. So here's a look at that finished card project. It is beautiful and it looks like a regular traditional A2 size card, but when you pop it open, you can actually have that card front sit up on display. It's just kind of a fun way to create a different type of card, but it's easy enough to create over and over again for the holiday season, especially when you're using something like the washi tape from Pinkfresh Studio that makes creating these beautiful details really easy. Of course, you could create this same card using the stamp set and coordinating stencils as well, so I hope that either way you'll give it a try. Now, as always, I will have links to the featured products used in this project in the YouTube description below, so if you're looking for something in particular, be sure you check there. Or you can head on over to my blog at sprinkledwithglitter.com. I'll have that linked below. Over there, you'll find more still shots, more information, a complete list of supplies, as well as information on the blog hop that's happening today celebrating this brand new release called Season of Wonder from Pinkfresh Studio. Don't forget to check out the rest of these products that just dropped today in the Pinkfresh Studio shop. I'll have links below for those as well. I seriously think you're going to be blown away by this gorgeous holiday release from Pinkfresh Studio. As always, I want to say thanks so much for stopping by and hanging out with me today. I hope you found a little joy, a little light, and a little inspiration here. And I hope you enjoyed this project and this video. If you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications so you don't miss any of the paper crafting, card making, and live stream videos I share here. Thanks again for watching. I'm so glad you're here, and until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day.